On this week's show, we welcome Callie Gullickson and Rad Lopez to the instructor platform.
And is Robin Arzon returning to Peloton? And much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 42 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I am your host, John Pruitt, joined as always by my co-host, Amanda Siegel. Hi, Amanda. Hey now.
Hey, John. Happy Father's Day to you.
Oh, I thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And happy Father's Day to all those amazing fathers that are taking a listen today.
Pelo dads, yes.
All those Pelo dads, yeah. How you doing, John?
Good. It's been a good week. It looks like you've got a nice new fancy microphone I see there, Amanda.
I do. I have a nice fancy microphone. I want to make sure that everybody hears me loud and clear.
Almost as cool as my Howard
Could never be as cool as you. Could never be as cool as you, John. I've just resigned myself to the fact. It is what it is. That is what it is. Yeah, so you had a good week?
Yeah. I kind of took it easy. I'm on a little break of the tread. Just rode, but
is
light
Rebecca
this
Kennedy?
week.
Is Rebecca Kennedy on holiday this week? Is she off?
She hasn't really done. Yeah, I know. You'd think there would be a correlation. No, it's easy. Once I take a few days off, it's easy to let that continue with the tread. Unlike the bike, where that's the first, thing I go to.
First thing you go to. Yeah, well, it's been a rough week for me. It's been a really rough week for me. I tore my piriformis and a muscle in my IT band on Wednesday. And I have been off the bike, and I'm going crazy. If I don't work out soon, I've been doing tons of stretching and some, just some arms and core, but I'm itching to get back on the bike. So I just needed to rest it, and hopefully I'll be back to normal this coming week. So unfortunately, guys, I don't have much to offer you as far as picks of the week go at the end of the show, but I'm sure John will have a couple to share. But yeah, I've had to, you know what, they always say, listen to your body. And I had to listen. There was just no way that I could work out. So that was a bit frustrating, but you know what? It's all good. It's all good. So
you got some tender hips.
Some tender hips.
So we do a Hannah Corbin hip flexor stretch opener.
What, John? That's exactly what I did. I did Hannah's from that new series I spoke about last week on the show. I did do her hip stretch. It's a 15-minute or 10-minute hip stretch. And then I actually did her foam rolling as well. She's got an amazing series of foam rolling exercises, which are fantastic. So I did that. And you know what? I really do give the platform such a huge shout out from that perspective, is that there's just so much on there that one doesn't need to hurt themselves, because there is the ability. But I think, you know what? I will not share the reason I had my injury. It was not bad. I was not rude. There was nothing PG or not PG about it. But it was stupid, and I was quite mad at myself. With that being said, before we get started with the news, I'll jump right into that. Before I give you a chance to say anything, we always like to remind you folks how to keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button to make sure that you never miss an episode.
And we are also on all traditional podcast platforms. So if you want to listen to us on the go in your car, just search Pelo Buddy TV, click subscribe there. Also add notifications so you never miss an episode, and leave us a review if you like the show or if you have some comments or suggestions. We always like to hear your feedback.
We certainly do. And folks, finally, we are on Facebook and Instagram. Again, just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us on these platforms for all of the latest news. And I guess, John, let's get on with the show.
All right.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
Well, folks, I think that you can definitely say HIHF, but is it? It is now actually official that 2 Peloton instructors have joined the platform, this time on the strength modality. Callie Gullickson and Rad Lopez both were launched this past week and had premier strength classes. I did jump on Callie's live core on Wednesday morning before my injury, and her energy and enthusiasm is absolutely contagious. She reminds me a lot of Kendall Toole. I think she's going to be fantastic. I did jump on her IG live as well. That was on Tuesday evening. And I just love her story. She comes from a big family. She has an amazing background in dance. We had spoken about her a couple episodes back. And again, you know, we love the fact that we report the stuff to you guys and then it actually does come to fruition. But Callie really is somebody that I know I personally look really forward to working out from a strength perspective. I don't think there's going to be anything easy about what she offers us on the platform, but she's definitely somebody that I can somewhat relate to, and just liked her enthusiasm and her way about her. I did not get a chance to take a look at Rad's classes that he had. They both had lives. Callie did hers on Tuesday at 6:30, and Rad's did his on Wednesday at 6:30, and then they had dropped a couple encore classes as well. And then the next day they each had some classes. So I'm looking forward to working out with them. What about you, John?
I did not do Bad Rad's, Rad Lopez's class yet. I did check the pre-show of Callie's for her premiere class, and that looked really fun. So, and she seems fun on Instagram.
Yeah.
So far. So good sense of
Definitely.
humor. Hopefully
Yeah,
she does boot camp or tread. Hopefully she does that portion of strength. So we'll see.
No, I don't think there's any. I mean, there hasn't been any announcement of tread or cycling coming from her. I think boot camp is something that she'd definitely do. From right now, I see her just kind of on the mat and on the floor. But who knows down the road? And look, we're all still holding out for boxing, and she does have a background in that, a little bit of that as well. So. So it was nice, and it seems like she has relationships with quite a few of the instructors. So I kind of do like that there's, something out there that they all connected in some way, and she has that too. So so we mentioned it last week that Rad was coming, and then of course the release of both of them and both being launched was exciting to see.
Yeah, it was nice from when we first reported it to it actually, 'cause sometimes we report things, forget all about it, and then a year later it finally comes true.
Right.
So it was nice to see that. Yeah, nice and quick. It's building our street cred, Pelo Buddy.
Exactly. Well, there's one more, right?
Yeah, so on the new instructor rumor front, there is more evidence that Kirsten Ferguson will be one of the possible next announced Peloton instructors. So a recent listing on the Tread schedule for Thursday, this past Thursday, the 17th, there was a 20-minute recovery run led by, it said Peloton KF. So that would give us the idea it would be Kirsten Ferguson. So she's a former cycling instructor, but it's not really clear what she would do at Peloton, but that is hopefully pretty close to her being premiered and completing her training.
Yeah, that's really exciting. We had reported about her kind of around the same time we did with Callie. I think Callie, Rad, and then, I forget the fourth one. We mentioned him last week.
Callie, Rad, and Tad.
Yeah, no, there was one. Daniel Yankee McKenna. I completely blanked on that, Daniel Yankee McKenna. So so I guess he's coming up next. It's amazing how many new instructors they've brought on. Over these past few months. That's amazing.
It's really hard. They get no slips past us. We always catch all their little errors.
which I think you know what, I think they love anyway. I think they love it anyway.
Little nice
all
little
we're doing
Easter
is promoting
eggs.
it, right? Exactly.
Yeah. It's like a little Easter egg if you catch it.
Exactly. And then
Robin,
I guess
Robin Arzon, she kind of teased her return to the studio. So she was just recently in the studio this past week and posted just a picture of her on Instagram, kind of, you know, a selfie in the mirror, but she was in full apparel like she was going to teach or had teached. So I would guess that she was there to record some coach to camera or her part for the 4th of July All for One ride that they all seem to now, you know, really produce ahead of time.
Right.
So
awesome.
Hopefully she's back. I think she said she was coming back July, but maybe sooner.
You know what? It's around the corner, John. I mean, we've got another week or so and July will be here. I mean, it's just flying by so quickly. So this week and next, and then I guess, you know, the following weekend is July 4th weekend. I mean, it's crazy how fast the year is flying by. Half of the year is gone, is almost gone. With that being said, in July around the corner, we did announce to you guys last week the launch of Peloton Australia and that we had a date, with it being next month in July, and that Australians would be able to join the Peloton frenzy and become as obsessed as us folks here in the US, certainly in the UK, Germany and Canada. But this week, though, we have discovered that they will only have access to purchase the bike. And not the Peloton Tread. It is not going to be sold in Australia. Members will have access for a 3-month free ability to use the digital app. So should they choose to sign up already, they can already obsess with others like ourselves and like-minded Peloton official people that they can use the app. But unfortunately, there will not be the sale of the Tread. They do say that it has nothing to do with the Tread recall or what's been going on with the Tread, that this was a decision that they had made ahead of time. And who knows, maybe down the road, the same way as the UK did it, where they started out with a bike, wanted to take a look and see, you know, how that went, and then decide to launch the Tread, down the road. That has not been announced. But for folks looking at jumping on the platform at this time, the only modality would be the bike. They have also launched their official Peloton Australian Facebook page. So again, for those obsessed and like-minded Peloton holics, they're able to now join the Australian Facebook page and share their workouts and all their, hopefully not too many criticisms, but whatever they want to say on the Peloton page, they'll be able to do that. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, if you're not digging the vibe of the official Peloton member Facebook page shit show, I'm sure Australia is pretty tame still, with probably just a few thousand members. So
exactly,
you might actually get some good info on that page before the trolls hit it, the basement dwellers.
Right. You know, the UK have been really good about that, though. I will tell you that much. The UK, the official UK Peloton page, was not nearly as crazy as the US, but I think they monitor that pretty well. In any event, we hope that we'll soon have some Australian viewers that will get to watch the podcast, and that they will get to listen to the podcast and get to watch us here on Pelo Buddy TV, and we'll be part of all the new announcements and stuff that we have to make. So I certainly put it out there last week to my slew of Australian friends and got some lovely comments back. So they're definitely excited. There's definitely a buzz about Peloton down in Sydney and Melbourne right now. So it's really exciting.
Well, it's exciting because I hear actor Paul Hogan, who we all affectionately know as Crocodile Dundee, he's very excited because he wants to get a Peloton.
Oh, really? Maybe we'll get him on the show.
That's not a bike. That's a bike.
That is too funny. Well, you never know. I'm sure that there'll be some celebs that'll come out of the woodwork that'll get their Pelotons. There's some amazing Australian celebs out there, so that'll be fun.
Just recently, McAfee, the software antivirus company, they had published a blog post detailing a security issue they found with the Peloton Bike Plus and Tread. And this issue would allow for a attacker to have full remote control of Peloton equipment, including all their network traffic and having access to the video camera and microphone. But there's two important things to note about this vulnerability. It's been patched since early June, and it requires physical access to the Peloton hardware. So they'd actually somebody would have to be in your home, connect into it. So really it would be more of a issue for bikes in public places like hotels, gyms or shared spaces. So really not kind of an issue, but just something they had found. I guess we had already kind of nipped it in the bud, but this was just published in this blog post recently.
Wow, kind of scary, but I'm glad that they caught it quickly on.
Yeah.
That could have become an interesting story for down the road, for sure, right?
Somebody wants to hack into my camera, into my bike.
Go
ahead.
Watch
They can enjoy the steamy show. Be a very steamy show.
Exactly. So Gwen Bethel, Peloton's head of music, actually was just interviewed last week by Rolling Stone, John. She shared that not only are they looking to up the ante with artist series, but that they're also looking to bring on celebs as guest instructors. Now, the question there is, was she misquoted? So I don't know whether she was referencing actually having them come on and be the instructor, or potentially maybe they're looking at a 2-for-1 ride where they have the celeb and the instructor on the bikes at the same time. Maybe they're just in the studio, as had been in the past, where I remember Ben and Leanne did rides in the UK with 2 Olympic gold medalists, Laura and Jason Kenny. Were Olympic gold medalists. So they had them in studio and then brought them up when they did their stretching. So, I don't know exactly. And again, maybe she was just misquoted as to whether, in fact, we'd get those artists on there. But, John, I've said this many times on the show before, that these artist series collections have highlighted some unknown artists. We always comment on some that we just aren't aware of and now have been brought to light by being featured on a ride or a run or on some kind of modality on the platform. But it does give these artists the opportunity to bring their music to a massive audience by us working out on the bike or tread or the floor. And certainly with us all stuck indoors due to COVID this past year, none of us were getting to concerts. None of us were able to go and listen to music, live music. And this was a wonderful and amazing opportunity to get to hear new music as well as old. And really for us to kind of feel part of a concert that we were in on our own as we were working out on the platform. So she definitely, I'm curious to see where this goes. And I think that she's really active in finding the ability to bring as many of these artists to us as we work out. And they definitely listen to us. There's no question that folks have asked for certain artists and they've come. One that I'm holding out for, and I know my UK community are too, is that damn Spice Girls artist series that so many of the instructors have now thrown in. I mean, there have been tons of them that have thrown in Spice Girls songs. And I know that I'm just waiting for Leanne to bring out her Spice Girls songs. Every 90s ride that I see on them, going, maybe this is it. They haven't teased it yet, but maybe this is it. So Spice Girls, and this is their 25th wedding anniversary, their 25th anniversary. So it would be a great opportunity.
Spice Girls.
The Spice Girls to, can you imagine how fun that ride would be? Come on, we've said it before, it would be amazing. But anyway, going back to Gwen and her role, it really does go far beyond just coordinating these artist series, though. She oversees the team that built the engine that houses all of Peloton's music, which she has gone on to say is constantly being updated so that the instructors can search for music and program their rides or their workouts, I should say, with far more ease. So I think that that's an amazing way for the instructors to be able to go to one set library where they know they can use the music and they're not going to run into
it's called Crescendo. Is
that what it is?
their music system. Yeah. Every now and then I try to get little inside information about it every now and whenever I can. And some instructors, I'll give them a song to play or request. And they'll say, no, it's restricted. And like one time I was messaging with Irene. Yeah. And I said, this is how I found out that back when Lionel Richie was a restricted artist, couldn't play any Lionel, I had messaged her. I was like, hey, can you play some Dancing on the Ceiling on your 80s pop ride? And she messaged me back like, oh, he's not in there. Interesting. So, but it gives them, the cadence, all sorts of, details for, their roadmap.
Wow,
so it's
that's
kind
amazing.
Of a cool,
how they can utilize it into the, so I guess she's been working really hard. And
class making.
Into their class. So Gwen's been working hard on that, and she spoke about that in the article. She's also actually a graduate from Boston College Law School, and with that background, in her education, she does also advise the legal team. But I think still perhaps her most significant role is that she comes up with activation and partnership ideas. She spearheads negotiations around the various types of artist deals. So for folks who want to learn more about what she's looking at doing with regards to music and collaboration, you certainly can head over to pelobuddy.com to the link in the article in Rolling Stone. But it was a really well written out article that they did put out there, because I think a lot of us, as you said too, you have reached out to the instructors. A lot of us do wonder why certain songs aren't being played and why certain things aren't being done. And she does talk about that in the article. So with today being Father's Day, as I had wished you all at the beginning of the show, we did want to share, just kind of throw in there that Peloton did release a bunch of Father's Day classes. Kendall had a 30-minute Father's Day ride earlier this morning at 8 a.m. And then Adrian Williams did a 45 minutes Father's Day boot camp at 10 a.m. Callie Gullickson, she got in there. She did a 10-minute Father's Day HIIT cardio. And then Chelsea Jackson Roberts is doing a 10-minute Father's Day meditation. Also wanted to mention that Andre DeGrasse will be riding today, being Father's Day. So that was something that they had brought to our attention. And lastly, regarding Father's Day, there were some things that had been added to the apparel site specifically for Father's Day. The only new thing that I saw specifically was a Father's Day mug that was released, I think, this weekend. But there had been a couple things that had been on there. Jackie, buy you any Father's Day things, John?
If she has, she hasn't given it to me yet.
All right, it's a bit early in the morning. I guess we'll have to wait until she when she hands
Sorry,
them to you.
I don't have a reveal.
No reveal yet. Next week's show, for sure. For sure.
But I'm gonna guess maybe she didn't. So yeah, I'm gonna.
All right.
Hopefully this is correct. I'm gonna say she didn't get me anything, so we'll have to wait and see. Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see.
Our series, our short-lived Ride to Greatness series. Remember that one, Amanda?
Yes.
With Alex Toussaint.
What happened?
It's all over. So it was a best
done.
of 5 series. And last week, Team Validate, which team I am not on, won it 200. It was a 1-point game. They won it 217 to 216 over Team Activate, winning the series 3-1. So we only got Team Activate only got one win over that entire series. So it's done. That's it. Wow. Congratulations, right. Team Validate.
It was fun. I think a lot of people got involved in that, and I think it was a ton of fun. I did not get involved in it, but I think it definitely was a ton of fun.
Yeah, it was a good competition, different captains every week, Peloton instructor captains.
Yeah, I feel like it petered out. I do feel like it petered out, though. I feel like they were really hyping it in the beginning. And I know that when they brought Ben and Hannah on, there was instant lives and everybody got really involved. And then I think Alex had to get his wisdom teeth out and they missed a week.
Yeah, and then they would have 2-week practices in between. So it kind of dragged out.
I think so. But for those that participated, good for them. It's always fun. Everyone likes a little bit of competition. So I think it's always fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it was still fun to have the live leaderboard with the back-to-back score. So hopefully they do something like that again.
Yeah. Yeah. So the newest Peloton yoga instructor that we had chatted about a while ago, Nico Sarani, the German instructor, had her first live yoga flow on Friday morning, very early, 6:30 a.m. Eastern time. But I guess for the Germans, it was in the middle of the day. And she is finally on the platform. She's here in New York. So she's here in the States, I should say. I'm not in New York. She's in the States, but she is doing she's being filmed from the States, and her classes are going out, to the German community in Germany as well as around the world. Others that are utilizing, the German speaking language classes. So huge welcome from Pelo Buddy to Nico. Also, folks, we spoke a little bit about July 4th and the July 4th weekend. The studio is closing. It will be closing for July 4th, from July 4th to July 7th. And they announced that it will be the terminology that they use. They call it the pause and reflect closure. They like to throw names in there. So they don't really say it's for the July 4th holiday, because I guess certainly those folks in the UK aren't celebrating, 4th of July. But the studio will be closed. No live classes, I should say, will be on there. But of course, there's tons on the platform, tons on the on-demand that folks can take.
I thought the studio was only going to be closed the 4th through the 6th.
Is it the 6th No, you may be right.
You said 4th through the 7th. So
I apologize. I think you are right.
I must correct you.
You corrected me. You're absolutely right. It'll reopen on the 7th.
The 7th.
Yep. So it's closed that Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then I guess they reopen on Wednesday. Is that right?
Yeah. I guess you didn't get the memo. I'll go ahead and get you another copy of that memo.
Please, John. I mean, clearly, I didn't get the memo correctly.
Did you get the memo?
But yeah, so that's what's going on there, and they'll have an opportunity to pause and reflect.
Well, one closure that just happened yesterday. Peloton was closed yesterday, Saturday, in observance of Juneteenth. So this was from Peloton's social media post on Instagram. They said that June 19th marks Juneteenth, the oldest known celebration commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. And this day is meaningful to our Black community in so many ways, and in recognition of its significance, we invite you to join us in reflection and celebration. Our studios will be closed for the day, but we're still bringing you a special Juneteenth collection, so stay tuned for more. And so with that, Peloton created this Juneteenth collection. So we had rides with Alex and Allie, a cardio class with Chase, meditation and yoga with Dr. Chelsea Roberts, and a strength class with Adrian. And one thing to note, Amanda, we just got from the control room, there's an artist series tie-in with the Yoga Flow class with Dr. Chelsea Jackson Roberts with the artist John Batiste.
That's it. John
Batiste, musical artist series for the yoga class. Becs was recently interviewed on athleticsweekly.com and discussed her marathon training philosophy. Becs said, my training week is unorthodox to a lot of people, but my coach and I believe the most important element to success is getting the work done, she says. And she gave a typical Monday through Sunday roadmap of kind of her training. Mondays she'd do a long run. Tuesdays would be like an easy run, strength training. Sunday she would take off. Saturday would be an easy run. But it was a good breakdown of her process and kind of everything that goes into the preparation for that marathon training that she recently did in London.
Fantastic. And the Hollywood Reporter had published an amazing article called The Netflix of Wellness. I'm sure folks have already read it, but if you haven't, it highlighted how Peloton has become a global content brand. The article stated how John Foley wanted to shoot for the moon, and we all know that he reached the moon, the stars, and everything else that comes along up there in orbit. It goes back to 2018, where he saw the company go from a brand known for its bike to being spotlighted for its content, from cool music to a digital app. It gave so many folks that weren't quite ready to pay the hefty tab on an expensive piece of hardware an opportunity to utilize the app and still be able to work out. Together with the cult-like behavior of its members, it's had the company grow exponentially. And the article went on to say how if we fast forward 3 years later, we all know the deal. It shares so much more. And I absolutely encourage you guys to head over to pelobuddy.com and pull the article up from there, because it truly was an amazing. I mean, we all know the hype, and we all, as, you know, Peloton holics, you know, it is the Netflix. It is the Netflix of workout. There's no question that, you know, folks are coming here first, going to Peloton first before they go anywhere else. So it was an amazing way for the Hollywood Reporter to spotlight just how fantastic the program is.
Well, we had another article, another instructor interview. Olivia Amato was interviewed on parade.com, and she shared a sleep hack and other wellness secrets. So just to give you the bullet points, her wellness secret number 1 was to keep your inner circle small but supportive. Number 2 was set an intention. Her 3rd secret wellness tip was eat for energy. 4 was set your goals and organize them. 5 was try a heated sleep mask, which was her add-on sleep hack. So I actually use a sleep. Jackie and I both wear sleep mask, but not heated.
So funny you say that, though, because one of the gifts, in one of the Peloton homecoming boxes, there was actually a sleep mask in there.
The rest kit, yeah, right.
Yeah, and it's sitting next to my bed, and I've just never used it. So, and I don't sleep very well, unfortunately. I have awful insomnia. So maybe I should use it. Maybe it'll work.
Yeah, or that one I think you can put in the freezer too, if you want a cold mask.
Okay.
I got the cheer kit, whatever that one was called, with the flags and the little chalkboard.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, they know that you're the biggest cheerleader with your high-fiving, so I guess it was appropriate.
They got it right. Yes, and Cody just posted he got a house, or maybe bought a condo in Brooklyn, it looks like. But he's officially a homeowner. So congrats to Cody. And I'm sure he's going to have Emma Lovewell giving him decorating advice, as I'm sure we'll see, hopefully, more of his adventures in decorating it now that he gets settled in.
It was very cute seeing him hold up the keys, because he's like so all over the place that to think that he's now, you know, he now owns a home. It's very serious when you own your own home. So,
everybody this past year have bought places. Yeah. Alex moved out to the burbs. Emma and her boyfriend.
Yeah, Kendall and her boyfriend.
Well, her boyfriend's got the house, the cabin, or whatever he calls it. And then Kendall moved to an apartment in the city, so they're not... Correct.
Right.
Cohabitating.
That's right. But she's been helping, you're right, but she's been helping him do the cabin. So everybody's been very busy, very, very busy. Well, lastly, John, this week we celebrate Chase and Selena's 3-year anniversary. So they are now officially into their 4th year on the Peloton platform. So huge congrats to Chase and Selena for 3 years of giving us an amazing workouts. So huge congrats to them. Huge congrats to them. And so I can't be too excited about picks of the week this week because I don't have very many. I'm just going to share my one. But go ahead, John. Why don't you... actually, you know what? Let me go first since I only have the one. So my pick of the week this week is definitely Callie Gullickson's core workout. It was just a 10-minute core workout live on Wednesday morning, and it was brutal. So I think that she's going to, put us to the test when it comes to strength workouts. I think she's got as I said earlier in the show, just an amazing personality, her enthusiasm. I almost want, you want to work out from her. She actually reminds me a lot. I said Kendall, but a lot of Kendall and Rebecca combined. I think she gives a little bit of both. That was kind of how I, was magnetized towards her. She had that really great personality. So, I'm looking forward to more. But that, unfortunately, is all that I am sharing with you guys this week. I hope that next week I will be back to my old self on the bike, and we'll be able to share much more with you guys. How about for you, John? What were your picks of the week? My
picks are just bike related because I completely slacked and did not work out on the tread this week. So ring the shame bell. But I have a nice back-to-back pairing, a 20-minute 80s ride followed by a 20-minute 90s ride with Jen Sherman from June 15th. And notable songs that I like from the 80s were ZZ Top's Legs and Kenny Loggins' I'm All Right, the theme song to Caddyshack. And then the 90s, a couple notable tracks that I really enjoyed in that ride were Blind Melon's No Rain and Sheryl Crow's All I Want to Do. And then my other pick is your girl across the pond, Leanne Hainsby. Amanda, you'll have to bookmark this one. Did a 30-minute rock ride with Leanne on June 17th. And particular tracks that I enjoyed from that one are Oasis's Champagne Supernova, Rocket Queen by Guns N' Roses, and the Rolling Stones' Wild Horses during the cool down portion of the ride, which is nice, chill. That's track.
Awesome. I did hear it was an amazing ride. I did hear it was an amazing ride. Amazing ride.
Amazing.
I did jump on, funny enough, her 90s from Wednesday. I didn't use it as a pick of the week because I jumped on because there were so many milestones of friends that were on there that I just wanted to support. And John, it was actually interesting though, because I wasn't really able to pedal. I could just pedal lightly. But it was an opportunity though, because I wasn't feeling like I was dying on the bike as I was riding, was I got to really watch her and watch how into the rides the instructors get, how into whatever they're doing, that they really do give their all. And the stories they tell, the enthusiasm that they bring to the bike. But again, when you're not pushing yourself and concentrating on getting your output or, getting where you need to be with your cadence and your resistance, sitting back and watching them give a class, if you want, was actually an amazing experience. And I have to say, it was a great ride. The music, her 90s rides are fantastic. Of course, she threw in Spice Girls, so it just made the ride for me. I waited for that specific song. She did Wannabe. But
she's been on a real Spice Girls kick lately because
she's been hinting.
Stop recently.
She did. I thought of you when I heard that. She's definitely been hinting. So I don't know if it's coming again. As I said at the beginning of the show, with the 25-year anniversary of Spice Girls, I would be shocked if they didn't end up doing an artist series. But she has hinted a couple times, and I've in messages back and forth to her, she has, she would never break any rules in saying yes or no. Yeah. But the smiley face and the little bit that I could innuendo, I was definitely picking up some vibes there that it's coming.
Nice.
So I guess from the news perspective and picks of the week, that's all. I'm really, really excited to get to listen to your interview. Tell me a little bit about that, John.
Yes, so I had a lot of fun talking to Xtopher Ortega. He is a Peloton community member and the founder and creator of the SweaxySwarm, which is a Peloton group that is very supportive and engaging in the LGBTQ plus community. So we had to talk to a little bit about that, what the group does, and kind of how he got into Peloton and some funny moments with some of our favorite instructors.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Super fun interview. And he was one I chased down a while. I know has never been on another Peloton podcast related show before. So this is Pelo Buddy exclusive right here with Xtopher Ortega.
Let's get to know another person behind the leaderboard name in Pelo Chats.
And now it is time for Pelo Chats. And this week I am pleased to welcome Xtopher Ortega.
AKA
Hello, Xtopher.
Sweat is Sexy. Great. How are you?
Mr. Sweaxy, I'm well.
Yes.
This was, I know you're very sought after. A lot of other podcast Pelo related shows have sought you to be interviewed. You've turned them all down until today.
I was waiting for you, John. I was waiting for you. I was like, I just knew it in the stars when I first met you. That one dark evening at what is it, homecoming? I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming. Yes. But thank you for having me.
Yes. Well, thank you for finally coming on.
Yes.
Highly anticipated. So
yes,
we're very excited.
Yes, as am I.
So for those who may not know the SweaxySwarm or all of that, before we get into that, and the group that you started that's massive, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
My name's Xtopher Ortega, also known as #SweatisSexy, also known as Xtopher, also known as XT, aka a lot of other terms that I won't be using on this on this recording. But I'm originally from New Mexico. Worked our way from New Mexico up to Seattle, and now we're in the Bay Area, San Francisco. And yeah, I have the Bike Plus behind me, the Tread, and I'm a proud member of the Alphabet Mafia, and of course the creator of the SweaxySwarm. So hi to everybody. It's nice to be here.
So how did you first hear about Peloton and get into it? Way back when?
It was during the initial Kickstarter is when I originally heard about it. I followed it from time to time. I never invested back then or got part of the Kickstarter or anything like that. It wasn't until we moved to Seattle that we met a gentleman and his wife that lived in our building, and they had it was just right after Christmas, and he says, I just bought my wife a Peloton. And I was like, you did not? I was like, I've heard of those. So I told him my whole story about the whole Kickstarter thing, and I was like, what is the footprint like? So my biggest thing was, I was thinking when you see a spin bike, I was like, it's Seattle. Our apartments are a little bit smaller, and I didn't want it to take up too much area. But once I saw it, literally, I sat on it, pressed play on it. I didn't spin or anything. I literally got on my phone right then and there, boom, 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 and ordered the bike. And it was. I think it was there in like 3 weeks. A lot better shipping time than right now. But that's where my Pelo journey began, and then after that, it kind of just grew from there. It snowballed. Kind of an addiction, obviously, as we all know.
Yes, and obviously community plays a huge part of it, because you founded this, created the SweaxySwarm. So tell us all about that, because I got on board with that, I guess, late, in the game, 2019. So I don't even know
I'm just gonna
how long it had been around.
Shake my head at you, John. That disappoints me. But okay, so this is what I get excited about, because I freaking love the Swarm. So it's kind of a funny story. So believe it or not, I was in other groups other than just Peloton groups, and we would talk about the OPP, and as we know, the when I say OPP, obviously the official Peloton, or what is it now? The official
Peloton member page.
Okay, the OPMP now.
Yeah.
back then, and I don't know if it still is, was a little bit toxic. And you know, when anything would ever happen with the instructors or something with the company or whatever, it's always a big deal. Always a big deal. So what I started doing was, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be myself. And I was like, I would see people posting photos of themselves on the bike. So I was like, I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna take it up a level. Let's put a little spice in the OPMP. And let's see what kind of reaction I can get from just posting pictures of myself. So I posted a picture of me in stiletto heels with short shorts. Obviously, you're gonna be short shorts. I mean, who doesn't spin in short shorts? If you don't spin in short shorts, let's come on. Let's get with the program here. So I would post photos every Friday, and I would tell a little story, and it just kind of became a routine back in the day. And this was probably around June or July of 2018. And so I would post every Friday. I would post a different pose, maybe different heels or a different outfit. I would do different things on my Peloton bike. And then it came down to the time when the instructors were told they could no longer be on like their side pages. I don't know if you remember the Peloton
pages. Their tri pages. Yeah.
Thank you. Their tri pages. So. Yep. It was blowing up that day. It was so blowing up. It was crazy. So I was like, so as a joke and just trying to be funny, I was like, for that Friday pose, I wore a shirt that said, it was a little ghost, and it said, this is boo sheet. And it was a ghost, obviously, and it says it's a boo, and then sheet. And I'm just like pulling my hair out in front of my bike, and I was like, I'm leaving too. I'm leaving the OPP. I'm gonna create my own group and blah blah blah. So I was like, okay. So I put my my handle there, and it was originally the SweaxySwarm. And just as a side note, if you ever put the word sexy on Facebook, the algorithms of people trying to join are not so good. So I had to change it. But that weekend, I got about 4,000 members to join, like within 24 to 48 hours. And it was just mind blowing. And I was like, holy crap. I was like, okay, so something else is here. I was like, there's something bigger here. It was the people were flocking, and they were just following me. They're like, oh my God, I love your Friday post and blah, blah, blah. And from there, it just grew. I knew, and I started it on 10/18 of 2018. So it's kind of just been just a snowball effect since then.
Okay, so I've been around for a while then, from when I've joined, and when it was around the same time when Jen Sherman was christened or welcomed into the swarm. Mm-hmm. Back when I when I met you and your partner Sean in the basement of the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Oh, we don't call him Sean. His name's Death by Lamarca, by the way. It's
Death by Lamarca.
Okay. Yes. Always use the hashtag. Always.
DBL.
DBLM. Yes.
DBLM. There we go. It's easy.
Yeah. So that was pretty early. Because we met in, when did we meet? We met in May of
2019.
2019. Oh, that's right. That was the last. That was
like May 5th, that weekend.
Fun weekend. Yeah. But yeah, you were there pretty from the beginning. But I mean, it's just grown since then. Now we're about 36,600 members, 36,600, and then we have subgroups that kind of focus more on the treadmill, on yoga, on power zone, and on strength. And so it's been pretty cool.
Is the swarm doing anything? Pride Month, I figured there's something to promote.
I've kind of been MIA this Pride Month, which is kind of sad. I've been working a lot, so I haven't really set anything up. But I mean, honestly, every day in the swarm is your pride is represented. It's not represented just in the month of June or specific day. But obviously, whenever these rides are occurring, which I haven't seen Cody's, I'm sure we will have a swarm that ride, pride ride. Do you know when Cody's ride is? I was looking at the schedule, and I don't think it's been announced if he's doing it. I assume he is. Yeah, I would hope so. Otherwise, we're gonna have to have to write John Foley a strongly worded letter and ask reasons as to why that didn't occur.
Well, you did Maddie's Pride run, right?
I saw Maddie's Pride run. I have not done it yet. But I did hear some great things about that. His makeup was off the hook. Acid Betty did a great job, which is the drag queen that did his
that whole face, the striping, yeah. He always goes all out.
Yes, that's kind of one of the things that I love about Maddie is his willingness to just like what the Swarm was built on, just be yourself, and it's kind of cool.
Your fascination with Roomba.
Oh,
you do a lot of posing. What's that all about? Because I just got one and I didn't realize how amazing they are until I stopped knocking them.
Yes, it actually was an accident because the Roomba used to be plugged in next to my bike at our first apartment in Seattle, and it was always in the photo. And then one time it was gone because I was like, "Oh, move the Roomba," and the number one comments I was getting is, "Where's the Roomba? Where's the Roomba?" And I was like, "Oh crap! Okay, here we go. There's got to be something to do with the people are fascinated by this Roomba." So it just became kind of a staple in all my photos.
It's kind of the mascot.
Yes, and Peloton needs to come out with their own Roomba. That should be their next product. Nice. Yes.
Well, I was a hater for a while until my wife got me one for my birthday last month, and it's great because I just go on the app. It maps out this whole main floor of hardwood, and I just select the rooms or when I want it to, and it empties itself.
Yep.
Into this main unit, so it's pretty. They've come a long way since we tried it back in 2007.
They have, and you said hardwood floors, so I would highly recommend getting the mop as well because I have both, the mop and it's a game changer.
Fancy.
Just like the bike and the tread, you need them both. You need it all.
Definitely. Well, what else? I feel like there's something else we should.
What else should we cover? I'm here for you, obviously. Obviously, and I let Death Bella Marca know that I was here for you and only you. I mean, it's so.
When do we think the studios will open?
Well, when did they? Yesterday, because the Bay Area or San Francisco announced that we're fully open, and New York said they were going to fully open yesterday. Hopefully soon, and hopefully soon after that we could fly up there and have a minor meetup because that's kind of our thing, and we like going into the studio. It's been way too long, way too long. I can't even remember the last time we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a West Coast studio though. That's I always tell Maddie and La Kendall, when is the West Coast studio happening? It needs to happen because the West Coast is the best coast. So all your listeners out there, now you know.
And La Kendall will head up the West Coast studio
yes, and that's what I told her. I said you need to head it up. Oh yeah. I mean, she has the beautiful golden tan complexion that is kissed by the SoCal sun, so it'd be perfect.
There you go.
Yeah.
Keep dreaming. Well, we have to end the chat, the Pelo chat. We have something we like to do called a simple 60-second descent and recovery, we call it. So it's just like rapid fire questions.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
No, but yes.
All right. Let's begin. Bike or tread?
Bike.
Favorite instructor?
La Kendall.
All right. Out of the saddle or in the saddle?
Oh, always out of the saddle.
High cadence or high resistance?
Hills. High resistance.
Early bird rider or night owl?
Early bird.
Meditation or strength training?
Meditation.
Live or on demand?
I wish it was always on demand. I mean, I wish it was always live, but prefer live.
And your first class you ever took?
Oh, that's a good one. I think it was a live DJ ride, a Cody live DJ ride with John Michael, obviously.
Your very first class on the bike?
I think so. That's a tough one. I don't think it's there anymore. I think it was one of those that was purged. Sad.
Oh, yeah. If it's anything 2018 or older, it's definitely gone.
Yep.
Well, thanks for coming on and chatting a little bit about yourself and the SweaxySwarm, Christopher.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's always a joy to talk Peloton.
Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
No, it's not. I've never been interviewed, and I believe it or not, I don't like talking about myself. which is interesting if you ever see me, but once you turn on the camera, I'm like a whole other person. So,
and can you tell us, for everyone listening or watching, what is your leaderboard name and where can we find you?
My leaderboard name is Sweat is Sexy. And you can find me on all the social platforms. Instagram, sweat_is_sexy. And then, of course, the Swarm. Just Google Sweaxy, and it'll pull up all the groups that I'm associated with.
Cool. Well, thanks again for chatting with us, and we will see you on social or definitely on the leaderboard.
Awesome. It was just nice chatting, man.
Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, John, that was great. That was really, really great. I'm so pleased that you had the opportunity to get to interview him. And I'm so glad the community gets to hear just about another community member that is so, entrenched in the Peloton world. And as you and I are, and everybody else that watches the show and just feels the same way that they do. I think it was amazing to get to hear his story. So thanks so much for coming on and sharing that with us. I think that was awesome. So I guess, John, that's it for this week's show. I don't think there's much more for us to say. So I guess from here in Maryland, happy Father's Day once again to all those dads celebrating out there. And see you next week. Bye for now, everybody.
And from here in Michigan, happy Father's Day to all the Pelo dads. And as always, we will see you on the leaderboard. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.